I am recording this. Maybe because I can't sleep anymore. Maybe because the walls feel like they're listening. Or maybe because I need someone to hear the truth before it eats me alive. My name doesn't matter. What matters is what I did and what I can't undo. I cheated on my husband for 2 years with his closest friend. And the night she found out, something in him broke. But something in me woke up. Because that's when the haunting began.
Hello, everybody. This is Greg Stewart. Welcome to the Greg Stewart Show. We're about to get into the story of Anonymous. And Anonymous is a very interesting story because it's about something that we tackle a lot here, cheating. And you're going to listen to the story, see what you feel and think about it, see where you think it's going to go, should go. And before we do that, please once again subscribe, like, share, and comment. Now, on to the story.
I don't know why I am recording this. Maybe because I can't sleep anymore. Maybe because the walls feel like they're listening. Or maybe because I need someone to hear the truth before it eats me alive. My name doesn't matter. What matters is what I did and what I can't undo. I cheated on my husband for 2 years with his closest friend. And the night she found out, something in him broke. But something in me woke up. Because that's when the haunting began. People think cheating is a moment. Cheating is a single decision, a single night. They don't understand. Cheating is a slow leak, a trip, a whisper, a shadow that grows behind you until you don't know where your real self ends and the lie begins. His friend, I'll call him D. D was the kind of man who knew how to look at you, like he already understood your weaknesses, like he could see the cracks in your marriage before you could. And I let him. Every message, every secret meeting, every lie I ever told my husband felt like stepping deeper into a room with no windows. And the deeper I went, the more the air changed. It became thicker, heavier, like the room was waiting for something. I didn't know it then, but I was building a ghost made of guilt, a ghost that would follow me along after the affair ended. It happened on a Thursday night. My husband came home early. I didn't hear him at first. I was in the bedroom, deleting messages and rehearsing lies in my head. When I turned around, he was standing in the doorway. He wasn't angry, and he didn't yell. He just watched me. His eyes weren't his eyes. They were empty, like someone had reached inside him and unplugged the part that made him human. He didn't ask questions. He didn't accuse me. He just said one sentence. How long? And something about the way he said it, flat, hollow-like, it was already somewhere else. This made my stomach twist. I told him the truth. 2 years. He didn't move. He didn't blink, and it didn't even look like he was breathing. He just stared. And then he said something I still hear at night. I'll never forget this. I'll never forgive you. We are done. I'll never forget this. It was like a curse, like a jail sentence. It was like a door slamming shut in my mind. That night I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face. That blank, hollow stare. But then something else happened. I heard footsteps. Slow, deliberate, moving down the hallway towards our bedroom. I thought it was him. Maybe he wanted to talk. Maybe he wanted to scream. Or maybe he just wanted to leave. But when I opened the door, the hallway was empty. There were no footsteps, no movement, just silence. Except, I swear I heard breathing. Not mine, not his, something else. Something that felt like it was standing right behind me. I turned around. Nothing. But the air felt wrong, thick and heavy, like the moment before someone whispers in your ear. And then I heard it, a voice, soft, low, right behind me. I'll never forget this. I spun around, but no one was there. But the voice wasn't my husband, it was mine. I tried to tell myself, I tried and tried to tell myself it's just stress, that the voice I heard was just mine, replaying his words. But the next morning, something happened that I still can't explain. My husband was sitting at the kitchen table, not eating, not drinking, just staring at the wall. I said his name, but he didn't respond. I walked closer. His eyes were open but unfocused, like he was watching something I couldn't see. And without looking at me, he said, "You can't erase what you did." His voice was calm, too calm, like he wasn't talking to me, but to something inside himself. I touched his shoulder. He flinched like I burned him. And then he looked at me, really looked at me. And for a moment, I swear, I saw something behind his eyes. Not anger, not sadness. Something colder. Recognition, but not of me. Of the memory. The memory had become a person. A presence, a shadow sitting between us at the table. And it was staring right at me. That's when I started searching for answers. Not online. I knew what I'd find there. People saying I deserve it. Saying I should leave him or I will. And I didn't need strangers to tell me that. I needed to make him forget. To soften the memory. To blur the edges. To make the image of me with D fade into something less sharp. I tried everything. I apologized, I begged, I cried. I promised I'd change. I promised I'd do anything. But every time I spoke, He just stared at me with that same hollow expression, like he was listening to someone else. Someone whispering in his ear. Someone reminding him with every detail. And then I realized something horrifying. He wasn't the one replaying the memory. I was. Every time I looked at him, I saw the moment he found out. The doorway, the phone in my hand, the look on his face. I was feeding the ghost, keeping it alive, keeping it sharp. And the more I tried to erase it, the stronger it became. The first time I saw it, I thought it was a trick of the light. I was in the bathroom washing my face, trying to breathe through the panic that had become my constant companion. When I looked up, I saw something behind me in the mirror. A shape, a silhouette standing in the doorway. I spun around. Nothing was there. But when I looked back at the mirror, the shape was still there. Closer now. I blinked. It vanished. I told myself it was exhaustion, stress, guilt. But then it happened again and again and again. Always in the corner of my eye. Always behind me, always watching. And every time it appeared, I heard the same whisper. I'll never forget this. But not in my husband's voice. Not in mine. Something else. Something that sounded like the memory itself had learned to speak. The shadow wasn't him. It wasn't me. It was the moment he found out, giving shape, breath, and hunger, as if it wanted to be remembered. I haven't spoken to Dee since the night everything fell apart. I blocked him, deleted his number, tried to erase him in a way because I wanted to erase the memory. And guilt has a way of calling things back. It was 2:14 a.m. when my phone lit up. A number I didn't recognize. But the message made my blood run cold. He knows we need to talk. I stared at the screen, my hand shaking. I didn't want to respond. I didn't want to open that door again. But then another message came. He came to see me. My breath caught in my throat. My husband went to see Dee. Why? What did he say? What did he want? I typed back, trembling, my fingers shaking. What did he do? The reply came instantly. He asked me what I wanted. I froze. What he wanted, or what Dee wanted. I didn't know which answer scared me more. I met Dee in his car, parked behind an abandoned strip mall. The kind of place where secrets go to rot. He looked different, older, tired, like the guilt had been feeding on him too. He didn't say hello, didn't smile, didn't even touch me. He just stared straight ahead and said, he asked me if I love you. My stomach twisted. I whispered, what did you say? I remember his throat. He swallowed hard. I told him no, he said. I felt something inside me crack, not because I wanted him to love me, but because of what he said next. He didn't believe me. I asked him what my husband wanted from him. Dee's voice shook. He wanted to know if I remembered everything. I didn't understand. But Dee said, yes, describe it. Every detail, every moment, and every lie. My breath became shallow, and did you? He nodded slowly. He made me. I felt sick. My husband wasn't trying to forget. He was trying to preserve the memory, sharpen it, feed it. And he had given him everything he needed. After that night, the shadow changed. It wasn't just a memory. It wasn't just a shape anymore. It had weight now. Form and edges, sharp edges. Sometimes I see it at the front of the house, at the foot of my bed, in the hallway, leaning over me while I sleep. Every time it whispered, I remember. Not, I'll never forget this. Not, you can't erase this. Just, I remember. Like it was growling, becoming more real, more solid, and the more it remembered, the less my husband spoke. He barely looked at me, barely ate. It was as if he barely existed. It was like the memory was replacing him, taking his place, becoming the thing I lived with. And then one night I woke up to the sound of someone breathing beside me. Slow, deep, steady. I turned over. My husband wasn't in the bed, but something else was. Something that felt like a person, like a presence. Something that whispered, you made me. I confronted my husband the next morning. I told him I couldn't live like this, that I needed him to talk to me, to yell at me, to hate me, to do something. He didn't look up from his coffee. He just said, you want me to forget? I nodded with tears burning, my eyes flowing down. He finally looked at me, and the expression of his face chilled me to the bone. Why should I forget something you chose to remember for 2 years? I tried to speak, but he cut me off. You didn't forget him. You didn't forget the lies. You didn't forget the thrill. His voice grew colder. So why do I have to forget the truth? I whispered, because it's killing us. He leaned forward. No. It's killing you. And then he said something that made my blood freeze. I am not the one haunting you. That night I finally understood. The shadow wasn't him, it wasn't he. It wasn't the memory, it was me. The part of me that lied, that hid. The part of me that wanted something more. The part of me that thought I could control the consequences. I created the ghost, I fed it, I nurtured it, I protected it. And now it wants to live. I saw her. It's clearly for the first time, standing in the doorway of our bedroom. It looked like me, but wrong, hollow, distorted. A version of myself frozen in the moment of betrayal. And it whispered, you can't erase me. And I realized I was right. My husband sleeps in the guest room now. He doesn't speak much, doesn't look at me. We're not even really roommates. But sometimes late at night I hear him whispering to someone, not angry, not sad, just talking, like he's having a conversation with the memory, like it's become a companion, a witness, a presence he can't let go of. And me, I still see the shadow every night, every morning, every time I close my eyes. It doesn't whisper anymore, it just watches, waiting, because forgiveness isn't coming. Forgetting isn't coming, and the truth is, some memories don't fade, some wounds don't heal. Some ghosts, only, especially the ones you create. This is my story. I am anonymous.
Welcome back. So you heard the story of Anonymous and key factors here. We always discuss 6 human needs. For anyone that's new to the show, the 6 human needs are as follows: certainty, which equals stability; variety, which is how we deal with certain things. It's not just what I'm getting for Christmas, birthday, or a gift out of the blue. It's, am I diplomatic when I have a conversation, whether it's argumentative or just clean, or am I defensive and emotional? So that's the second human need. The third human need is significance. If I don't feel valued, how can I put stock into a person that doesn't value me? The fourth human need is love and connection. So you have these 4 first human needs, and then you connect to the other 2 that really help represent who you're going to be to yourself as well as in a relationship. And the first one is growth. If you don't water a flower, it dies. And then you have also contribution. So Anonymous felt this way. She felt, I'm not getting anywhere. And who comes into her life but a person who's her husband's best friend? Now, he comes over casually, makes jokes, but those jokes were really hidden flirtation. And it was something that Anonymous could count on. It was something, oh, D is coming over, haha, and she'd make an extra plate, this, that. The husband was oblivious to it. He was spending time with his best friend, hanging out, talking sports. He'd go up to the bathroom, and this person, D, would crack another joke, seeing the humor with it, seeing her blush. Oh, you look really pretty in that outfit tonight, this, that. Taking notice. And he got to know his best friend's schedule. Imagine that. He drove off. She basically lives at home. He'd come by, or he'd leave something there, and, oh, he can come and get it tomorrow. All these little hooks and plans. And next thing you know, he's coming over, hanging out. 1 cup of tea, coffee, leads to a bite to eat, something else, maybe discusses emotions and feelings, and all of a sudden one thing leads to basically the other. So those needs were not being met, but the advantage was taken by this person D, who also stated, like as Anonymous said, he's seen something in me. No, you wanted him to see something in you. Now she says, it was just something about D. He knew how to read me. He knew how to feel me. He knew how to connect with me. No. You put that out there. He connected on it because you got energy back, and you took it and you gave it back because deep down you wanted to feel desired. And he gave you that. And maybe you even justified it. Maybe you even talked yourself into saying, well, you know what? It won't go further than this. But then a little more came, because the more you play with fire, the more you become to get burnt. And that's exactly what happened here. So you're wondering, how do I change him? You can't change him. And he's already repetitively talking himself into how he wants to feel and connect. And the more we do this, the more we repeat it, just like you did to connect with D. You repetitively reinforced layers and layers until it finally escalated into the affair. Well, he's doing the same thing into his head now. And once he gets enough courage, he's already in another room. He's going to come to you, if he doesn't want to work it out, with the presence of mind. Okay, you wanted to talk to me? Well, here's what we're going to talk to, because I'm not angry. He's a blank slate. But now once he finds the feelings are subsiding slowly, his identity is going to rise again, and he's going to want to move forward in some direction or the other. Now, the way it looks right now, it's not going to be what you want, but you have to ask yourself, Anonymous, do you really want this at this point, even if you did want it? Because there was something that D seen, as you said, or even before, that made you walk this way, that said, I'm not really interested in this relationship. And if you had to find a bonus, if you had to find a plus, the good news is that there's no children in the household, because they would be also the victims in this situation as well. So rather than fixing him, you need to find out what you want, because this isn't the end of D. He might have told your husband what he needed to hear. because that was once a friend, and he already has to know I've hurt him, I did him wrong. But now with you avoiding D, with rejection comes obsession. So don't be surprised once he sees the smoke clear. He was used to getting a booty call on his terms. For 2 years, he was living the life of Riley. Whether he's in a relationship, we didn't really hear about that or what, but he was living the life of Riley. I get to come over. It's always exciting. It's always new. I'm making love to her in her husband's house, in their bed, all ego trips. And then he went into full detail. He didn't have to, but he goes, he made me. He wanted to let him know the full details of what he did with you, Anonymous. That's cold. That's cruel. And this was a best friend, so your husband is reevaluating himself to move on and to find out the best way to make decisions for himself. I advise you to do the same. And rather than worrying about talking and having people point fingers, maybe get a coach. As after all, you did write in and you did share this story, and so you did leave this audio. So maybe the key is, because I'm not going to judge, we all have our reasons. Now, I don't advocate adultery, but we know that your 6 human needs wasn't being met. So maybe it's the time for you to find out ways to connect on the identity in reference to the relationship you should have with you before moving on to someone else. That's one example I can give you, but you can't change your husband. You can only focus on changing you, is my point here. So unless you write me back or send another audio, I'd recommend coaching, counseling, where someone is not going to judge you. What's done is done. You need to basically take the steps of moving forward. Everything you're telling me, even in your audio description, is your brain is living in the past because it's fresh, it's new, and it hurts. You need to start thinking of present to future now, because you're not thinking when you think of the past, you're actually remembering it. And if it's a bad memory, it's going to haunt you as it's doing to you. So therefore, you need to start to focus on the now and move forward so you could live in the present. And now you'll be thinking. Now you're going to be thinking. But if you keep feeling about the past, those are going to be your memories. Those are going to be the things that sabotage you. And as the good book says, seek and you will find. And that's why you're finding. And that's what your husband said. It's not me. I'm already moving forward. In so many words, he said, I am already getting through myself. I'm in another room. We don't talk. We're not even roommates. You heard her say that in the audio herself. So the key factor is he's already making his plan of how to get through this, how to move forward. Remember, it's not that you just cheated. You cheated with his best friend. So any kind of trust in anyone in this world is out the window. He has to change his world, repattern, if you will, and move himself forward. And if the time comes in where there is something for you, that will show itself. But at this point, you have to take his energy the same way for yourself and move forward. Stop remembering and falling into pain. Start focusing on moving forward. That's called thinking. Living the way you are, you're living in the past. Even though they're new memories, it's still the past. So this is Greg Stewart. If you have a situation going on that you'd like to discuss, like Anonymous did here, well, just email me at gregcoaching@gmail.com or leave a message in the comments. Love to hear if there's anything you'd like to discuss that we could break down as well, or do like Anonymous did and leave an audio video, and we'll touch base from there. Until next time, have a great day or evening wherever you are. But don't forget, once again, to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. And until next time, talk to you soon.